Have you ever had that quiet moment at night, when you finally sit down after a long day, and you suddenly realize that the evening has already gone by? You think to yourself, where did the time go? You don't remember doing anything important. You didn't really rest. You didn't really accomplish anything either. And now, the day is almost over. It used to happen to me more often than I'd like to admit. At first, I didn't mind. I told myself, it's okay, I'm just relaxing. But deep down, I wasn't really relaxing. I was just letting the time slip through my fingers. Some evenings, I would spend hours flipping through channels on the TV, watching shows I wasn't even interested in. Other times, I'd scroll endlessly on my phone checking messages, social media, random videos. Sometimes, I just sat still, not really doing anything at all, my thoughts busy but unfocused. The clock would keep ticking, the light would fade outside. And suddenly, it was time to sleep, and when I went to bed, I didn't feel rested. I felt like I had wasted something precious, something I couldn't get back, not money, not objects, but time. My own evening. It wasn't just about productivity. It was about meaning. I wanted to feel more alive, more peaceful, more present in those quiet hours between sunset and sleep. I didn't want to just pass time anymore. I wanted to enjoy it. So I decided to make a change, not all at once. Not with pressure, but with care and kindness to myself. I started noticing what made me feel good in the evening, and what didn't. And slowly, over many days, I made 5 gentle changes in my evening life. Not rules, not routines I had to follow perfectly. Just little shifts that brought back the peace I had been missing for so long. The first thing I began doing was simply turning off the constant noise around me. I hadn't realized how much background noise had become part of my everyday environment. The television was almost always on, even when no one was really watching. News channels, game shows, loud commercials, they kept my ears busy, but my mind tired. It was like living inside a box of noise. And I didn't notice it, until I made it stop. So one evening, I turned the TV off, just silence. At first, it felt strange, even uncomfortable, but then, something beautiful happened. I began to hear the birds outside my window. I heard the wind moving through the trees. I heard my own thoughts becoming slower, softer. It felt like opening a window after years of being in a crowded room. After that, I became more careful with what sounds I allowed into my evenings. Sometimes, I play soft music, gentle piano, nature sounds, or quiet old songs that bring back warm memories. Other times, I leave the room completely quiet, and in that quiet, I found calm. I also began to create something I now think of as my evening rhythm. It's not a strict routine or a long list of tasks. It's just a few things I do every night that tell my body and mind, the day is ending now. It's time to rest. After dinner, I wash my hands, wipe the kitchen counters, and light a small lamp in the living room. The lamp gives off a soft, golden glow, much gentler than the ceiling lights. I boil some water and make a warm cup of herbal tea, often chamomile or peppermint. Then, I sit in my favorite chair, the one by the window, and just breathe. I don't rush. I don't plan the next day. I don't worry about what I didn't get done. I just let myself slow down. And in that slow moment, I begin to feel myself returning to the present, like my mind and body are finally in the same place. One small change that surprised me was writing in a little notebook before bed. I never considered myself a writer. But one day, I picked up an old notebook that had been sitting in a drawer, and I wrote down a single sentence. Today I felt peaceful when I walked outside. That's it, nothing fancy, but it felt so good to put that feeling into words. It was like capturing a little piece of the day and keeping it safe. So I started doing it every night, not pages and pages, just a few lines. What I noticed, what I felt, what I'm grateful for. Sometimes I write about memories, sometimes I write about a flower I saw or a phone call I had. And sometimes, I just write thank you for this quiet night. It has become a kind of gentle ending to the day. It helps me sleep better, it helps me let go. Another important change was learning to put away my phone earlier. Phones are useful, they connect us to family and information. But they also steal time, silently and without warning. I used to spend hours on my phone without realizing it, looking at pictures, reading messages, watching short videos. Sometimes, I didn't even enjoy it, it was just a habit, something to fill the time. But the truth is, I wasn't filling time, I was draining myself. So I made a new decision. Every night, at least 1 hour before bed, I put my phone in another room. I don't look at it again until the next morning. And during that hour, I do something peaceful. I read a few pages of a book. I listen to a gentle podcast or some soft music, or I simply sit quietly in the dark with a cup of tea, letting my mind unwind. That one small change brought a huge sense of relief. My eyes feel less tired. My thoughts aren't racing when I try to sleep. And most of all, my evening feels mine again. When I stopped trying to do something with every second, and instead began to simply be, everything shifted. I didn't have to entertain myself every minute. I didn't have to be productive. I just had to be present. That realization brought me back to a kind of peace I hadn't felt in years. Evenings are now my sacred time, not rushed, not noisy, not wasted. They're quiet, gentle, restful, meaningful. And it all began with a decision to stop letting time slip by, and instead, to honor it. Some people may think it's too late to change how they spend their time. But I want to say something clearly, from the heart. It's never too late to reclaim your peace. It's never too late to start enjoying your evenings. No matter your age, no matter your past habits. You can always come back to the present. You can always begin again. Your time is precious, so is your energy, and so is your peace. Now, every night before I sleep, I feel grateful. Not because I did 100 things, but because I was there, truly there, for my own evening. And that is enough. If this message touches something inside you, I want to invite you to join this little corner of peace we are building here. Please consider subscribing to this channel for more calm, thoughtful videos like this one. You can also share this video with someone you care about, someone who might need this reminder too. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. How do you like to spend your evenings? What brings you calm at the end of the day? Let's share with one another. Let's grow together, gently, kindly, and with care. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Wishing you a peaceful evening and a restful night.